Hello all, welcome to this webinar on software distribution in WATS. My name is Vidar Grønås, and I'm going to walk you through how it works. But first, if you wanted to contact me directly, my email is on the screen, vidar@wats.com. And as you see, we have just recently changed the name of our company. So the new name is now the WATS Company. Same legal entity, so really nothing new. Okay, so let's get started. Why software distribution and WATS? Well, it's about having the right resources at the right place at the right time when you're building electronics. So it could be firmware, test sequences, limit files, documentation, whatever is needed at that test station where you're running your test system. You have to manage this one way or the other, no matter if you're using WATS or how you're doing this. So I guess the normal ways is to develop your own mechanisms using maybe email, FTP, or more advanced tools to do this. But there is a need to make sure that you are testing the products with the right limits, the right firmware, etc. when you're building, when you're doing mass production. So in WATS, we have developed a tool that is available in the enterprise version of the software. It's safe, it's secure, flexible, and makes sure that your data integrity is taken care of. So I'm going to show you how it works, how you configure it, both on the server side and on the client side. So the parts that we're going to cover is how to create software packages and how they're being distributed to the test stations and the clients. There is a centralized repository that automates the distribution of your software. So when you build your packages, the transfer to your test clients is done automatically. The software packages are created manually in the WATS web application and the control panel, or you can also do it through the REST API. They're stored in the WATS cloud, uploaded and stored in the WATS cloud. So if you want to have a look at the REST API side of things, you enter your instance, for instance, wats.com/swagger, and you will be able to see the REST API, and you find documentation on how to use it. Packages can be queried and installed using, well, several ways. On the client side, when you install the WATS client, there's a WATS Package Manager that you can set up to automatically download new software when it's available. Or you can use our add-ons like the one for TestStand or LabVIEW. Or you can also do it programmatically by using the WATS client API. So there are multiple ways you can download and update your software. It's important to understand it's a file distribution system. So it's not for installation. I mean, all of these things you have to have mechanisms yourself on the client side on what to do with the software when it's downloaded. And I guess it's separate WATS from other tools where you forcefully update clients well, from the server side. In WATS, we transfer the files and the client decides what to do with it. But you can build mechanisms on the client side that make sure that whenever there's a new software available, you stop testing and wait for the new software to be downloaded and installed. But that's up to you, fully up to you. TestStand comes with a sequence, the MES sequence file that makes it very easy to set up. So how do you configure and do this in WATS? You go to Control Panel and you find the Production Manager. So in the Production Manager, you can create manual inspections, but you can also do the software packages. There is revision systems to make sure that you are not releasing things before it's done. So you start in a draft mode, then you move it to pending, and if you want to continue working on it, you can move it back to draft and then add files or change things before you move it to pending again. But once it's released, you cannot edit it anymore. So you can create or make a copy, and if you want to add a new software, you revoke the current version and you release the new one. So there's a system in place here to make sure that you do this in a controlled manner. The package have unique names, and you can have multiple versions, of course, and only one version can be released at the same time. So make sure that you are not confusing the system. So on the file side, you can build up a folder structure, and you add your files into this structure. So you can drag and drop files of any type. So in the example here, you can see there are some sequence files. So you have added a bunch of sequences. So this could be, for instance, TestStand sequence files. You can have standalone files. You can have could be executables or something else. So in this case, there are VIs, so there is a communication protocol added, and then there is some specific software for programming the unit that you're testing. There are some attributes on this file that decides what to do when they're downloaded. So you could, for instance, set execute once, which means that a file will be executed the first time you download this package and not again. And you can have a setting on a file to execute always, so every time it's queried or you're updating with some updated files, it will then execute again. You can have execute once per version, so if there's a new version, it will execute. So it varies from the execute once that will only execute once, no matter which version you are downloading. You can name a file a top-level file. So if you're querying for a package and the path, you will get the top-level file. So you can use this, for instance, to identify the main sequence so that you can automate running a TestStand sequence. You can also set things as overwrite never, overwrite on the new package versions, etc. And the file repository has a checksum that takes care of your file integrity, so that it's complete, and it checks to make sure that when you download the whole package or partially, that it is the same as the one that you have on the server side. There are also a number of tags that you can set on the package. So these tags are being used to identify what the packages are and where they are supposed to go to. So you can have as many tags as you want to. You can have use the predefined tags that are in the system. So I have some of them here. On the left-hand side, you can see part number is a tag. The station type is a tag. So that you can have a package that's identified with part number, so that on the client side you only subscribe to packages that are of the part numbers that you are testing, for instance. Yes. All right. Yeah. Here's an example where we download all packages with a specific part number equals 100, 200, for instance. And you can have a combination of these things. We're going to have a little closer look at this in a moment. Some other settings, the install on root setting could be either on or off. So if it's on, it will install directly in the distribution root folder, which means there would be no subfolder on the different packages that you're downloading. So it's a setting that's normally off, but you can choose to, of course, have it on. Yeah, you just have to make sure that you don't overwrite files accidentally. You have a priority setting, so if you have multiple packages, you can then set priority which package is supposed to be downloaded first and last. There's also a site setting, which means that if you have a setup with like a master server and a local server, the local servers can then automatically get the packages that have been downloaded on the master server. Also in the configuration tool on the WATS side, there is a little file editor. It's a very simple file editor, but it allows you to change some properties on the file, and you can modify CSV files directly in the tool. So if you're downloading CSV files in a package and there are information about let's say a version or a link to something, you could then or manually update this directly in the file editor. But for most files, you use the tools that you normally use to develop the code, like in LabVIEW and TestStand. You release those and you upload them into the appropriate package. On the client side, we do have what we call a package manager. So the package manager is automatically installed with the WATS client. And it will list available packages and what's installed on that particular client. You can create your own filter on the client side that will automatically then download packages that fits this specific filter. So here's an example. We are looking for packages with station name any. So in this case, we're using a wildcard called any. So basically, if there is a package on the server with station name any, it will, or anything, it will then download that particular package. There is a check interval setting. So in my WATS client, it's set to 24 hours, and also the package status that's looking for our packages in draft mode. So you can then choose draft or pending or released packages to be downloaded. So normally in a production environment, you will of course download released packages. Okay, that's it. Very quick tour of the tools that are being used in order to set this system up. You can find more information in our support center and user manual. You can have a look at the WATS Client API or the WATS REST API. I will encourage you to get in touch with us if you wanted to try the tool and need help to set it up for first-time use. Again, it's available in the enterprise version of WATS. So if you're using analytics, it's not currently available, but for a demo or for a trial period, we will be able to set you up with an enterprise account, so you can test it out. And as I said before, everybody has developed some kind of a mechanism for doing this already. So in WATS, we have just built a tool that it could easily replace what you are managing on your own. So I'll encourage everybody to at least take a look to see how this could benefit you in your setup, and it can handle then multiple sites and hundreds of clients. All right, thank you guys. Looking forward to hear from you soon. Thank you. Bye-bye.